Hello there, two-stroke turbo super fans. Welcome back to the shop. Welcome back to Stella, the shop dog, who is camera shy and is going to go off camera now. What are we doing today? We're working on a little Fiat 500. This is a classic, beautiful little car. I'm just enthralled with this little guy. So we got the ground. Let me rephrase. It's a 71 Fiat 500. Customer brought to me, wants to get it sorted out, and we had an issue with the ground strap in the engine compartment. I showed a prior video how we fixed that, so it's now starting and running. We got all the wiring done in the engine compartment, but he had an issue with the door, which was a little funky. Somebody rolled the window down and it wouldn't come back up. And I want to show you exactly what I went through to fix this and keep it from happening again. It's kind of a simple little regulator. We have a window winder on a gear. So when you turn this, you basically wind this little gear. The gear then moves an arm. The arm goes to the center of the window bracket, and there's a ball, or basically a pivot in here, that slides one way or the other. And what's happening is this car had the ability to come all the way down. The regulator then would pop out the end. I just simply drilled and put a screw in here as a stopper. You can see where the arm has popped off and it just kept going. Somebody kept cranking it down. I'm surprised it didn't do some damage on the outside. Doesn't look like it. But it just didn't have a stop. Also, the tracks were in wrong. It was causing friction on the glass, so you'd really have to crank on this thing and you wouldn't know where the stop point was. So it's nobody's fault, but this track in particular was out of its it unbolts here, and the top part needs to go in this little relief, and it was outbound, so it was binding the whole thing and it was just creating a mess. So it's really nobody's fault. I think it just got assembled wrong, and it's really easy to overlook that. But it just goes to show you that everything is a domino effect. It plays upon other parts. So if you have this track too tight, makes for the window to be stiff. Somebody really cranks on it, then it breaks the regulator, and then you've got a window that stays down, and let's say the carpet gets wet or something, or it's just not a good deal. So we got the tracks all greased. I had to re-glue the top one. Just a lot of little finesse stuff. I then drilled a hole in the regulator, put a little screw in there, and that keeps that roller from popping out. So now when it comes down, you'll see the roller. Can you see it right there? Bumps up against the nut on the inside, and you can't roll it down any further. What's happening is you'd roll it down further, this would pop out, the whole thing would fall down, and then you got to take the whole thing apart, and you don't want to do that. This is too nice for a car. So that's just one little element. We'll get into the rest of the things in a minute. You are so cute, but you only want to be petted when you want it. We're working on this cute little Fiat today. Now you want to be petted? Okay, you're a cute dog. Let's keep working on it. Well, hello there, and welcome back to the Two-Stroke Turbo channel. We are working on this really cutie patootie Fiat 500, sorting through all kinds of issues. It didn't start when it came in, and we isolated that, diagnosed that the negative battery crimp there on the body wasn't working, so we put in a new one. It now seems to start just fine. We've checked the fuel level. The spare tire is very original. It's a 125 SR12, and I think these are 145s. Not sure. All the tires were low on air. This window was stuck down. I had to take the door apart. I don't know that I've really shown you guys the interior. This car is gorgeous. Red door panels, red seats, red upholstery everywhere, including the sunroof, which is really, really amazing. Look at the red visors. Just a great color combination. We got all the lights working. We got the windshield wipers working. We got the horn working. Customer wants it to be good and ready to go. We had a bunch of wiring to do in the engine compartment. We also had an exhaust leak that was blowing soot on this exhaust shield here, which shields everything in the back. And I was afraid it's going to burn through, so I cleaned all that up. redid the ground strap, redid the wiring for the license plate and for the coil, rerouted the fuel line. That was super dangerous. Checked the oil. We're going to put this thing up on the rack and look underneath before we take it for a drive. But you guys should hang tight because we might just take it for a drive and see how the old Fiat runs. It is a beautiful example of a classic Fiat 500. Just, I can't tell you what a pretty car this is. It's just gorgeous. Okay, so we got the little Fiat up in the air and we're ready to do an undercarriage inspection. You guys love this. But before we get to that, we've got a weather report for you. It's hot. It's supposed to be 94 degrees today. I can feel the heat coming on even though it's late summer. Stella, it's just like, you need to lose that fur there, girl. You're a hot dog. She's looking at me, or actually giving me the side eye like, Dad, what are you doing? Get back to work. Let's do that. Let's get back to work. So we're underneath this beautiful little Fiat. Let's go through it. We'll start at the business end. This is the engine end. It's cool, so I can touch the exhaust. I want to show you how much these can rock. The engine is designed to move all around to reduce vibration, and the exhaust is supposed to point at an angle like that. The engine looks fresh. Everything looks pretty fresh. Transmission looks not as fresh. Something's going on there with that CV boot, but that might be the way it's supposed to be. Some of these are supposed to, yeah, I think it's supposed to just, axle is just supposed to slip in that boot. The boots look new. Everything looks really, really good so far. The wheels roll well, which means that the brakes are not grabbing. Shocks look a little old, but they're okay. All the ductwork is intact for the heater, which is amazing. The underside has been sprayed and not with rust encapsulator. It looks good. Everything is detailed. I want to get in here and grease a few things. I think these have nipples on them. No, they don't. No grease nipples anywheres. We're looking at the front suspension. It is a monoleaf front suspension, which means that it's a leaf spring that is transverse. Very common for the older cars. Let me turn the light on here so we can see stuff. Brakes look like they've been redone. Shocks have been redone. Control arm bushings look good. Steering box is excellent. Master cylinder, everything appears to look really, really good. This is a nice car. I don't feel any play if I work the wheels back and forth. This is going to be a nice driver. Paint has been done nice. I didn't try to Bondo anything down here like they sometimes do. Everyone looks at the car from the top down. Sometimes they forget the rockers and they forget the front aprons. Everything looks really great. I always like to do this before I go on a test drive just to know what I'm up against. I think this is going to be a good test drive car. Speedometer cable, shifter appears to be good. All the cables look like they've been redone. Fresh, nice. Brake lines have been redone. Everything. This is bellissimo, as they would say in Italian. It's perfect. Bushing's a little smooshed. That's okay. I don't see any major oil leaks. I think the engine is fresh. I think we're good. Let's get this thing on the road. Okay, it's that time. I think it's time we take this out on the road and prove its worth. This is a cutest little cutie patootie. This thing is gorgeous. Paint job. I love the color combination. And if you notice, I'm not bringing my shop dog Stella. Her white fur, when she sheds, it gets into everything, and I just don't let her ride with me on the nicer cars because it's not fair to the customer to have a bunch of white hair in there, so I'll have to excuse that. Oh, there's one more thing I gotta fix. I gotta fix this carpet from interfering with the clutch pedal. I forgot about that. That's actually a problem. Well, let's see if this thing will start first and deal with that when we get back. Okay, so we're turning the ignition on. Whoops, we got our wipers on. Turn those off, turn that off. Off is up. We do have an oil light now, which we didn't have before. And we're in neutral. We're going to turn our choke on, which is this one, and then our starter, which is this one. And we're fired up. And we got no lights on the dash. That's always good. We have no seat belts to worry about. We have no airbags. We've got no crumple zones. We have no worries. So get my big boot on this clutch. Yeah, I gotta move the carpet over. That's gonna be interference. Take the brake off, and I think reverse is over there. Yep, it is. Oh, clutch is very tricky. Let's roll that window down. Yeah, we got that rolled down. Brakes are a little first gear. Horn. Yep. See if the speedometer's working. Yep, it is. Gas gauge seems to work. Oh, brakes are a little, pedal goes down a little further than I'd like. Make sure there's no cars coming. We're just gonna do a quick little tootle around. Oh, that's a nice runner. Smooth. Ah, it's a cute little thing. Listen to that thing purr. It's just a sewing machine. Okay. Steering feels good. It's nice and tight. Gearbox sounds good. Okay, as I was driving the little guy, the camera clicked off because my memory got full. Runs good, shifts through the gears fine. I don't like two things: the brake pedal too far to push, and the clutch pedal is too close to this. So I'm going to talk to the customer about that. Other than that, this thing is pretty amazing. Amazing little gem. It's really a nice little car. Oh, it's a cool little car. Thanks for coming along on a ride. Thanks for checking out this little Fiat 500, and we'll see you on the next video. Oh, really like this. So beautiful.